Hello everyone, this is Joni, and I'd like to welcome you to my studio. And as you can see, I am showing you my planner that I have prepared. And it is still covering Grace Kelly. It's a different movie, and this movie that I'm going to show you about is To Catch a Thief. And she starred in that with Cary Grant. And they really do make a good couple acting together. And from what I can understand, they were very, very good friends. And so you start out up here with the movie, and like I said, To Catch a Thief. This was filmed in 1955, and that goes back a long lot of years. And to think that they were making such good movies like that you just can't find any like that today. And this is one of the pictures that it shows her in. The gown that I'm assuming that probably Edith had also designed for this, because she did most of her designing. And as you know, well, you might not know, Alfred Hitchcock was the director once again. And he loved working with her and with Cary Grant, because he said they were so professional with their work and everything. And the way I have set up my pages, I chose the blue because I thought that she looks very pretty in blue, with blue around her and everything. And most of this whole movie is filmed in the little island of, it was filmed in Monaco. I know that quite well because I've even watched their son in the Olympics. He would always use a bobsled. He would race in the bobsled Olympics. And he was really good at doing it too. But as I was talking about the blue, and then but I put her and Cary on white. There was a real pretty white paper in my paper, and I got it out so that I thought that it contrasted quite well with the blue. And it seemed to show up her dress better than the blue did, but still the blue was really pretty to offset the white. And now in this picture, I hope that you can see it well enough, because if my camera was down any farther, I think that it would be too close. And so I have put it up. You couldn't see all of the book, so I had to raise it up some. And when I look at this, if you can't see it well enough, I'll try to film it and put it down a little bit more. But the whole gist of this movie is about the idea that Cary Grant is a burglar, and he's known as the cat burglar. And he has retired when this movie is taking place, supposedly, and when he meets Grace. And he meets her and her mother, and they are from the United States, and her father was an oil baron from Texas, and he passed away, and now his wife is trying to make sure that Grace gets a good husband, and the one that's not looking for her money, because they have so much money that she has to try to look out for Grace, but sometimes her ideas sort of get messed up. But anyway, when the movie starts, every time that Cary is around Grace, she wears a lot of gems in this movie. She wears diamonds, she wears emeralds, she wears pearls, she wears all of the expensive and big gems. And every time that he's around her, you see him and he automatically is looking at her neckline, because she always wears these beautiful necklaces or bracelets or rings or something like that. And they're going to have a big costume party here at this elaborate hotel. And people from all over the world have gathered there for that. And they said that there would be more money in jewelry there than there had been for years and years, and they didn't know of any other place for just the people that could go and congregate that there would be any more jewelry than what this was. And so, of course, when Grace's mother heard about that, she takes all of the jewelry that they have, which of any consequence, let's put it that way. And she takes the big ones too. She takes the big diamonds and the big emeralds and things like that. And that's why I have this picture here. That's a picture of the necklace, one of the necklaces that she wore. And then down here you see Carrie and Grace. And you can see in the background that is Monaco that they were filming in. And they went over there and filmed the entire movie. And she even met Prince Rainier over there. And that's the guy that fell madly in love with her when he saw her on the screen. And he wanted to marry her. And they did end up getting married. And she became Princess of Monaco. And but this is the pictures of it in the background. But the bad thing about it is when you're looking at these mountains, that is also how she died. She was out in the car, and they said she was driving fast, and she went over that mountain in one of them and was killed. But Carrie is sitting here, and they are supposed to be on a picnic, and they're just sitting there talking, and he has a piece of jewelry in his hand. I guess it's one that she probably had on her wrist. And then I think that she has a piece of jewelry in her hand, and they're looking at it because she has also heard these rumors that he is a retired burglar. And she is very much taken with the fact that there could be someone that would be that big that they could go in and just steal all of the jewels and things that he stole. But he is reformed now. And that's the story is that he was reformed. But she seems to delight in prodding him along every now and then with her jewelry to see his reactions. And, of course, her mother doesn't like that because her mother has complete faith in him. And she thinks that he is the best thing she'd ever seen. So Grace just sort of wanders around in it for a while, but then she falls for him, and she is not wanting him to be the cat burglar. And he knows that they suspect him, and the detective is there. I believe he's the one that arrested Carrie. And when he finally surrendered, and I believe he was given a pardon for that, because it's been a long time. I tried to get the movie to watch it before I showed you this, but they said that they haven't converted it over to DVD yet. And they don't have any of the others to sell. So I couldn't get one of them, but I hope to as soon as it comes out on DVD. And this is a picture of them at one of the functions that they're having there in the hotel. And the hotel is, it's very, very elaborate, and just what you would think. Monaco is known for its gambling, and they have, the prince went to all lengths to make sure that his island is one of the best, if not the best, for the people who would come there to gamble, because all of the big people of the world would come there to gamble. And I guess that they are still going there. And I have chosen down here, I chose the little swans in my things. This is a closer, I'll tell you about the swans when I turn over here. This is a picture of the gown that I was showing you up here. They said that that gown had, I forget how many yards of material in the skirt, because it just went on and on and on. And but it was so gorgeous, and they had her hair. She was going to a costume ball in this. That's what the dress was designed for, was that was sort of the climax of the movie, the costume ball. And that's when all of the women would be wearing all of their jewelry and showing everyone their jewelry as to how much they had and who's had the most jewelry and which gems were the largest and things like that. So and they were very elaborate with her hairdo. And I think that most of that is probably fake hair, but Edith Head was really good. And the makeup, usually Wally Westmore did the makeup when Edith Head did the wardrobe designing. And he always was good with makeup. I always loved that. And I always catch myself when I'm watching a movie and it's given the credits. I look to see who the designer is, and if I see Edith Head, I look and I think, Wally Westmore did the makeup. So that's how that was. And I sort of fixed this like this, so that it would look as if he were looking down on Grace, and he sort of has this look on his face of, what is she really doing? What is she really like? Am I understanding her the way I think I am, or is she just playing around with me? And but she is very aloof, and she's very cool, and just the way that she always is in her movies. And that dress looked fantastic on her. I mean, it was gorgeous. And here he is. He's gambling at one of the casino tables. And but I don't think that his mind is really on the gambling at that point, because Grace has him sort of wondering what's going on. And then here is a picture of Grace in the dress. And they had to feed her while she had the dress on. She couldn't eat by herself because they were afraid that she would drop food on it. So they would give her individual bites and allow her to eat while she had that dress on. And she's sitting on the staircase because that's the only place that is fitting that she can sit down, because she has to put that dress all around her. And they spread it out completely around her, and it's down here and all the way up on the stairs. And that shows you how, and there's still folds and folds and folds of that dress that have not been put out. They're just too full. And that is Alfred sitting behind with her, or here beside her. And I don't know exactly who the man is above, but they're talking to her during one of her breaks, I guess. And then over here it shows the casino again, because like I said, that is the thing that they do most in Monaco, is gamble. And this is showing her in another pose with the dress, and she had a fan and everything that went with it. And this ball that they were going to the night of the last, I think it was near the last night, it is a costume party, and everyone is supposed to have these elaborate costumes because they don't want anyone to know who the other person is. And that fits right in with the cat burglar. And how is he going to be dressed, and can they keep up? Can the inspector, I believe his name was Gerard, but this is completely just from my memory, so don't depend too much on it. But it seems like Gerard was his name. But he wanted to watch Carrie that night to keep up with him, to see where he was at, because he thought if he could keep up with him, there would be no problems with the jewels being stolen after they took the jewels off, the women, when they took their jewels off after they went into their rooms or their suites. And so here is another picture of Grace in one of her dresses, and with the big hat, and Carrie is with her. And they're walking through the hotel, the lobby of it. And then here she is with her mother. This is her mother. And this is a gentleman, I don't know who he is. But, and then this is Carrie and Grace. And Carrie chose to wear a big, elaborate costume. It's very elaborate. And he has a big head with a big plumes on his hat, or turban, I should say. And he puts a black mask on to where you can't see who he is or anything. I mean, it's just, Grace couldn't even tell who he was without, he whispered to her or something. And when he got there, he didn't realize, but there were several other people that had that. And I think that somewhere or other that was designed to be that way in the story, that there were several other men there in these costumes. So they would lose track of where Carrie was. And Gerard, I think, thought that Carrie had come up with this idea, and really I don't remember if it was Carrie or not that came up with it. But they were looking for him to take the jewels that night, and they really kept up with him as well as they could. And then this is another picture, and I hate it because they're so dark, but you can't get them any lighter, and at least we couldn't. And so she is here with her mother again at the ball. And then down here, this is a picture of Carrie, and he has on his black outfit that it's just black pants and a black long sleeve shirt, sort of a sweater type thing that he pulls over his head, and it makes him blend in with the shadows and everything, and he can get around better by being dressed all in black than he could if he would wear something that would stand out. So he is on the roof right here, and he is watching to see what's going on. And I won't mess the ending of it up for you or any more of the storyline, but he is there, and everyone is gathered at the down in the lot right there near the entrance to the hotel, and they're all watching what's going on top of this building, because there are two people up there, and so they both look like the cat burglar. They're both in black and everything, and we have to wait to see exactly what is taking place with this. And we don't know if it could be Grace, and she has really had all these years the desire to try to foil the cat burglar, and she has learned how to do all of these things, and she is up there trying to get him if he is the cat burglar. And she is trying. You're wondering, is she the one that is going to steal all of the diamonds and the jewelry? And then you see Carrie, and you know that it's Carrie because he doesn't have his mask on there. And but the other person has black all over the face, a little hood-like thing that comes down, so you can't see what's going on. But it's finally resolved in the end, and it's a very, very good movie, and it's as suspenseful almost as The Rear Window. And like I said, with The Rear Window, with Alfred Hitchcock directing, you know you're going to get a suspense-filled movie. And it always struck me so funny that he always inserted himself in that movie in one little scene. And he would be just like a man walking along the street, or a man getting on a train with a newspaper under his arm, or just any numerous places that he would show himself in the movie, and then he would go away. But that was just like some authors always sign their name somewhere in their books that you have to look for it, and then painters will put their name in their painting or their initials, and you have to see if you can find those. But that's his signature, I guess, just inserting himself in there for about 30 seconds or something like that, a minute. And then he's gone again, and you don't see him anymore. But this really was a great, great movie. And I do hope how soon they get it converted into the DVD. And then I will be able to watch it and remember all of this that went on during this movie. And I think that my little swans go well with the other washi tape that I put around here. And then I just took a piece of the blue and put it down this whole side. And then I cut a piece of the white and put it right in the middle down through here. And it really shows up pretty. And I think it looks great. Now, I was going to cover the letters because I covered the days and the month, but I didn't cover the letters. And I thought that it didn't detract too much from it. I still may go back and put some little white half moons there to cover it, and if I do, I will probably do it in the white that is around her and Carrie. And I really, really do like these two actors, and when they're acting together, they really complement each other quite well. And so I think that it's a great, great movie, and you will see jewelry. Oh my goodness. I would hate to see the people that they had guarding all that jewelry when they were making this movie, because I believe that they said that Grace wore, I forget how much. Now this necklace that she has on here, it is, looks like the most of it is just gold, and I'm sure there are some diamonds in there. But it's been a long, long time since I saw that movie. Probably at least 30 years, I would say. And I tend to forget things when it gets back that far. But her waistline, you can look at that waistline, how tiny her waistline was. And she always had such a sense of elegance about her. And they said that's what Rainier saw when he was seeing this movie they were filming. He said that he saw how she carried herself, how she walked, and the graces that she had. They were just extremely beautiful. And he said that he knew that she would make a very, very fitting princess, and that he would have no problems introducing her as his wife. Of course, he didn't tell that, but that's what he told later on, that she fit right in just like she'd always been there. So that made it quite nice for them. And then they had children. They had a boy and a girl. And the boy is the crown prince now of Monaco. And I don't know what the girl is doing because I haven't heard from her for a long time. I haven't heard anything about her. And I'm sure that he is still fulfilling his obligations to the throne. And when you come right down to it, I don't think that I would want to do that, because your life is so sheltered in one way, and in another way it's exploited, and then in another way you really can hardly do anything without the public's eye on you. And I think I'm too much of a private person to like anything like that. And if I want to go out somewhere, I want to be able to just go and not worry if the press is going to see me or if someone else is going to see me or something like that. This is my view of To Catch a Thief. And I think that you will like the movie if you watch it. And hopefully they will be getting it out on DVD soon. And anyone that wants to watch it could. So I will let you go, and I'll say goodbye for now. And if you like this is my third week on my planner. This was the one that I did last time, and it was Grace and Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window. And it was totally full of drama. I mean, and like I said, I think that Alfred Hitchcock was allowing our minds to figure out what happened, and we were building all the suspense and everything with his help, but he didn't show what was actually happening. And our minds can do great wonders when we allow our mind to take over like that. And I even made reference to when I was in college. Nowadays, kids are reading these books in probably not grade school, but junior high. But I had to read a book, and Wuthering Heights, and I had never read it, and it was absolutely wonderful. And my mind had all of these images built up and everything of what the houses looked like that this guy lived in, and what the fields looked like, and everything. And the dogs. They talked about an awful lot about the dogs. And I had everything in my mind. And then they said they were making a movie about it, and I just couldn't wait because I loved that book. And when they did make the movie, they brought it out, and I was totally disappointed because they couldn't stand up to my my brain, images I made, and they just couldn't stand up to it. So I hated that. I really did. Now this is the first one I did, and it was on the 4th of July, and I put together my anniversary and my parents' anniversary on the 4th, along with our celebration in the United States for the 4th, and I liked it really well. So that was my first one, and then Grace in the one that the second one, the rear view window, and I wondered if I could make these things, and didn't have any problems at all with them. I have a lot to learn, a whole lot to learn yet, but this will, like I said, this is my third one, and I'm proud of it. I think it is pretty, and so I'm not ashamed of it. Let's put it that way. I think that I did a good job on this. And now, if you think I did a good job too, you give me a big thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And I will show you what I can do next week with another spread. And I don't know for sure exactly what I'm going to do, but it will be something that I think is interesting, and I hope that you will find it interesting as well. So I'll say, once again, I'll say goodbye, and you all come back, and we will craft some more. Thank you. Bye-bye.